Every good action movie has three things: a bad guy with a mustache, a chase scene that serves no purpose except to take every white-blooded American male from indifferent and flaccid to attentive and capable of carving a detailed diamond sculpture with his dong, and a main character that isn't so much a hero as a guy who runs around beating the shit out of everyone he encounters. Hollywood has completely lost the plot with regard to action films as far as I'm concerned. You see, action films don't need stories. They don't need slow-mo CG backflips off of turnip trucks or bullet-time sword-wielding ninjas, and they sure as shit don't need acting. What they need is Steven Seagal. The other thing they need, of course, is the blindingly attractive Gina Gershon and her gigantic titties. You know how when a well-endowed woman enters the room, people sometimes jibe, "Oh, she looks like she has two midgets in a headlock." Yeah, well, Gina Gershon looks like she has two colossal flopping tits, alright? No creative metaphor required. And I hate when people say, "Yeah, but she's got tattoos." The last time I checked, tattoos weren't tits. Why do they even enter the equation? If a fucking scribble on someone's arm is capable of drooping your reproductive organ when faced with the nude, scorchingly hot body of Gina Gershon, I'm afraid you've just defaulted on your penis license. Now, what the hell was I talking about? Oh right, the four things that great action films need. Well, actually 6 if you count Gina Gershon's melons, and guess what? Out for Justice has them all. They just don't make them like this anymore. It opens up when the main character, whose name is not important, as from this point forward you'll simply be referring to him as, "Holy shit, did he just roundhouse kick that guy in the heart?" He's an undercover police officer hanging out in his completely unsuspicious, unmarked mail truck parked in the middle of a fucking alley so as to block all traffic unsuspiciously, exchanging bad Italian accents with his partner, who at this point probably has about one scene to live. Suddenly, the pimpiest pimp to ever benefit financially from the miracle of the human reproductive system starts doing his best Bing Crosby impression on a hooker in broad daylight. If there's one thing Steven Seagal can't stand, it's someone that isn't him beating the shit out of a woman in broad daylight. Like all good police officers, rather than cuff the perp, he picks a fight with him, setting off a chain of events that leads to...
Gino, you son of a bitch!
The most anal-fuckingly badass title screen transition in cinematic history. I defy you. Defy you to not have an erection that can pulverize solid marble in a single thrust after that intro sequence. Well, I called it. I fucking called it. The best buddy always dies in the opening act, and sure enough, the minute Steven Seagal takes his eyes off him, Bobby decides to try out for the part of Murphy from RoboCop. Well, shit. Gunned down in cold blood and in full view of his wife and children? Why, surely that will send Steven Seagal out for justice. Oh. Well, I'm sure he's just waiting around for something even worse to happen, like say, and I'm just thinking out loud here, the antagonist, his gun still smoking for the police officer he just killed, decides to smoke crack in public?
Thank you.
Right. Well, surely if he kills an innocent civilian that... Well, fuck, Steven Seagal. A minute ago you put a pimp through a car windshield just for smacking a girl around. Now you're just gonna sit around and play catch with your kid while the mustache bandit kills every Guido on the Lower East Side? Right. Now we're talking. Steven Seagal finds out about his partner and throws on the most badass-looking beret he can find. It looks distinctly like he may be out for justice, but no, you know, that ponytail beret scowl ensemble is still missing something.
Just give me an unmarked and a shotgun, all right?
And God bless America. And it's about at this time in the film that you'll notice this movie has more mustaches than a leather bar at happy hour. And finally, Gino pulls his thumb out of his narrow asshole long enough to go out hunting for the bad guy when he's approached by a hooker.
Wanna fuck?
I'm Steven Seagal, bitch. We fucked 7 times while I was saying this sentence. Oh, and you might want to get yourself tested. I stopped for a quickie in the West Village. Gino spots the bad guy's mustache from the other side of New York. He gives chase. Things happen. Cars narrowly avoid things. The movie's length increases by 5 minutes. The mustache bandit and his 12 disciples decide to hole up in a butcher shop that doubles as a front for the mob, and they're instructed to...
I want you to hang this motherfucker up on a hook. Do you hear me, Frankie? Hang him up by a hook!
This future MIT graduate decides the wisest course of action is to charge Steven Seagal with a fucking butcher knife. Does he A. take a butcher knife to the forehead, dashing Steven Seagal's future prospects of starring in Under Siege Part 50, Under Siege with a Vengeance? B. punch this guy's head open like a wet piñata? Or C. scowl at him until he dies of fear? Oh, we're sorry. The answer is D. Rams the butcher knife into this guy's leg like he's a ripe Christmas ham. Boy, these guys aren't doing well. What's the matter, fellas? Need a hand?
Come get some.
Basically, the rest of the film consists of Steven Seagal running around like a cock, picking a fight with every greasy shitbag he encounters. He hits up a bar where the mustache bandit's brother is elected to hole up 24 hours a day, evidently, and doesn't so much question him as pick a fight with every asshole in New York City. I mean, just check this shit out.
You also would not know that Richie owns this place and that he sells narcotics here because he's a fucking puke and he likes to pervert kids and stuff, huh?
You can't come back here. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, Vinny! What the fuck? What do we got here, huh? What is this shit, huh? Huh?
You crazy man. Hey, come on, man. Jeez. The only balls he has is that badge and gun.
Is that right? Let me show you something. Huh? Here's my gun! Fair game now, okay? And here's my badge. This is your trophy. This is your trophy, okay? Come and get it.
Knock him on his ass.
Huh? Tell one of your fucking jadruls to come and get it, all right?
He all but rubs his ripe, unwashed ballsack in their mouths and then acts genuinely pissed off when they decide to kick his ass. I mean, these guys were literally just standing around drinking beer and playing pool when Steven fucking Seagal decides he's feeling bored and needs to karate chop the entire mob. Of course, about halfway through this scene, you stop caring that Steven Seagal is a complete dick because this fight scene rips your asshole clean open. I mean, if there is one ass left unkicked on the entire East Coast by the conclusion of this scene, I'd die of fucking surprise. Then, of course, in keeping with the unwritten rule of badass action films, it's montage time.
Sifting through the trash, tracking down uptown. No truth to be found, going underground.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You remember back when all rap didn't suck hard? Yeah, me neither. That song really bites a dick. But hey, at long last, it's Gina Gershon's Titties O'Clock. But, wait, Gino, buddy. Gino! Most guys don't push him around until they say no.
How does it work, Gino? Well, I'm supposed to give you a little head in the corner and you can forget about the whole thing?
It's not gonna make me forget, Patty. We're never that good.
What a stark, raving asshole. This guy just will not take the opportunity to motorboat Gina Gershon. As a matter of fact, he arrests her.
You have not even told me what I have been arrested for.
Let me see here. What can we do? How about 240.25?
What's that?
Prostitution, honey.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Jack, did you ever find this one over here on the street?
Many times.
And how much was she?
$10.
Oh, $10 this friend. Fuck you, Gino.
Uncalled for, fellas. Look, I know this film was released in 1990, but if you're still bummed out over all this, Miss Gershon, I'd be more than happy to comfort you with my penis. Steven Seagal finally tracks the mustache bandit to his hideout deep inside of a hollowed-out volcano. Okay, so he's really holed up in some hooker's low-rise apartment, but hey, at least the hooker's apartment has titties, even though what it really needs is Steven Seagal with a goddamn shotgun. It's around this time that I began to realize most action films tend to put the main character in some sort of mortal peril around the three-quarters mark just to conjure up a false sense of drama. But in Out for Justice, the closest Gino comes to even being remotely injured is when one of the funky bunch wings him with a fucking pistol round. That's it! This entire movie consists of Steven Seagal kicking the city of New York's entire asshole, and even while he wastes an entire bar, an entire butcher shop, and 2 apartment buildings filled to the fucking risers with mob hitmen, he takes no damage. Zero! Even Schwarzenegger got his ass kicked by Bennett in Commando. What a fucking stud! Well, the climactic moment at last arrives. Sadly, not one involving Gina Gershon, a latex bustier, and my twitching penis. No, Steven Seagal at long last corners Richie in his prostitutorium, Desert Eagle in hand, and the bad guy is out of bullets. And the award for most badass action movie line of all time goes to...
I'm out of bullets!
That's a shame. Because those bullets could have saved you a lot of pain.
Fuck and yes. It looks like curtains for the mustache bandit, or no, maybe just a wall, and a dresser, and some railing, and a shelf, and the dining room table, and, well, hey, at least that window had curtains on it. Needless to say, there isn't one object in the entire apartment that Steven Seagal hasn't smashed Richie's gory excuse for a face into. There's justice for you. Not trial by jury, not the U.S. Justice Department paying for Charles Manson's room and board for 40 fucking years. You fuck up, and Steven Seagal plants a motherfucking bottle opener in your cranium. Then shoots you like 3 more times, you know, just in case driving your moldering, pulpous, paste-like carcass through every solid surface in the apartment building, up to and including the apartment building itself, didn't quite get the job done.
That's for Bobby.
I ask you, what in the name of Steven Seagal's greasy hair plug ponytail do we have to do to get action films up to the standard of Kick-Ass presented in this cinematic masterpiece? What MGM or Paramount CEO do we need to roundhouse kick to the sternum to replace all the Avatars and Twilights with movies like Invasion USA and Cobra? Man, fuck these vapid CGI-drenched blockbusters with a cast full of epicene ladyboys who can scarcely hear the sound of the movie they're in sucking ass through a straw due to the deafening, cacophonous smacking noise of another man's phallus plunging like the spear of fucking Poseidon into their small intestine. Bring me the head of Michael Bay, Rageaholics. I'll set it right on my coffee table next to the heads of James Cameron and J.J. Abrams. Their cerebral cavities, of course, are already so well hollowed out they should make perfect candle holders. I'm RazörFist, and to the man brave enough to fix Hollywood, I offer an impassioned good luck and God fucking speed.
Then get the fuck out of my sight, right?
Hey, you! Get the fuck out of here! Didn't I tell you, get the fuck out of here!